April the 15th, tax day. And I'm in the throes still of my period, not period. And I noticed this week that I'm exhausted. I'm just tired. As soon as I get home from work, I'm like literally ready to go to bed. When I wake up in the morning, I'm just super tired. But I won't complain too much because the crazy thoughts are not there. So I am happy about that. I have been doing pretty good on my living. Yesterday, I knew that there weren't going to be eggs in the office because I ate all the eggs that Kristen brought in. Not all of them, but the majority of them. Some people ate some here and there, but she brought 3 dozen eggs. And when she brought them in, I kind of knew that they weren't going to eat them. Not all of them anyway. And I didn't even eat eggs at the time. I just, I had started my little only sardine thing and felt like that couldn't be too bad to have some eggs in the morning. So I have two of them boiled eggs. And initially I started off with a half a cup of pumpkin seeds, roasting them, and then I realized the pumpkin seeds had a whole lot of calories in them, and so JTB helped me reduce that to 2 or 3 tablespoons rather than a half a cup. And I started off just doing like 1 tablespoon, and then I did 2 tablespoons, and so I kind of vary between 1 and 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds. But yesterday, I knew that I didn't have those eggs to rely on because I ate the last 2 on Friday last week. And so I knew this before I left, but I'm just going in my mind trying to figure out what I should eat. I knew it had to be savory. I kind of knew that it had to be like in the meat area, and I just spent like since 2016 not eating meat, especially chicken. And so I was a little thrown off about what I was going to do. And so probably an hour before I left for work, I just kept trying to think of something that I could possibly have. And I finally landed on getting a souffle from Panera's, the spinach and bacon. And that didn't bother me so much because, even with all my non-eating meat, I have continued randomly to eat some type of sausage or bacon. And so it wasn't a big deal to have the bacon and spinach souffle. I didn't feel like it was going to throw me off of my goal of trying to eat better. And so I got it, and it wasn't like a horrible struggle to not eat it in the car, but it was a little bit of a struggle because of my eating disorder. If I got something that I like, I just kind of stuff it down my face real fast and eat it really, really fast. And so I kept it in the car with me, put it in the bag without even opening it all the way to work. Now when I got to work and I finally sat down, because I had to get a bunch of moving around first, I demolished that mug, and I should have ate it slower. That's another thing that I need to put on my to-do list of things that I need to change. I need to eat a lot slower and chew a lot more because am I eating out of being hungry or am I eating out of addiction? And I really felt like the way that I ate that souffle was really out of addiction, you know. But either way, I'm not going to punish myself too much, ridicule myself too much. I did a good job at just getting something that was halfway. No, it ain't even halfway healthy. But it had 550 calories. I noticed that. But I noticed it was bread in there, and I kind of forgot or didn't associate the bread in there. And that's the first time I've had bread in like 3 weeks. And it might have pushed me to want some more bad foods, because I ate some rice crackers for dinner last night with my sardines. Now, calorie wise, they would say that's not too bad, because they weren't rice crackers, they was sesame crackers, kind of puffy or whatever. But still, my desire for that wouldn't probably have been there had I been not eating that souffle. So I'm glad I noticed that just now talking about it. That's why I want to do these vlogs, so I can talk myself through some stuff. But at any rate, I don't know, I just been feeling really sleepy and tired, and it's like really the middle of the month at this point. And so that first week that I was talking about it, that first week of April when I was talking about it, I don't think anything was going on, and that's the reason why I felt so good. And then that next week was the week that it started, which was the beginning of last week. Because, like I said, I didn't have any of those crazy thoughts, but I did fall into a little bit of, just feeling sad about, I can't even tell you what. I think it was just familiar. Just the familiar feeling that, anything familiar will feel comforting. And so even though I don't want to feel like that, it's comforting because it's a place that I, know out of familiarity. So, yeah. That was, so then that means that my period for April started the second week of April and not the first. And so I'm still in the throes of it because I am literally for real, like super exhausted, just tired. When I wake up, I am tired. I wonder, should I get off at Manchester? Because I want to go and buy me some eggs from Sam's and boil them at work. And this will be the first time I bought eggs in God knows how long, like a really long time. And I really wanted to get some warm, fresh eggs. I wish I could find places, like when I was doing Amazon Flex, I would run into these little, side farm stands that be at people's homes, and they have stuff there, and you can just buy whatever you want, and some people have electronic pay, but a lot of other people just have these little cash drawers. You put cash in there, and so take what you want, and then I wish I could find one of those stands that sell eggs. I wish there was a community that listed where all those farm stands was, because I couldn't tell you how to get back to now one of them. And I'd have been to I'd have passed probably dozens, but I actually purchased probably out of 3 or 4 of them. And if I knew where they were, I would probably try to go back and see. But I don't recall ever seeing eggs on any of them. It's usually some type of vegetable or fruit or something along those lines. I don't think I've ever seen eggs, but I'm definitely going to find someone who has fresh eggs so that I can buy the fresh eggs off the farm of somebody who's growing them with their own chicken. At any rate, I got off at Manchester, so I'm gonna go get the eggs from Sam's because I'm really running late today. It's 8:15, but you know, ain't nobody gonna be in that office, no way. I mean, when I say nobody, ain't nobody gonna be in that office today. Today is a work from home day, and honey, everybody takes advantage in the work from home day. So, it's gonna be a ghost town in there. I really hate working during a ghost town. I think I found this community this morning on TikTok, which I should not have been strolling on TikTok. That's part of the reason why I'm probably late, but it's this guy, his last name is Patel. I can't remember what his first name is, but he found out how to heal himself naturally and make himself beautiful naturally. And I think I'm going to join that community. Just simply because, you know, when I first moved on the south side and I got my dog and I started walking my dog, I was falling a lot. And I literally felt like I needed to be trained on how to walk again. So that I wouldn't fall like that. Now, I helped myself and figured out that I was toe walking, and toe walking means that I wasn't going heel toe, and the average person does go heel toe, and he said something about that in his introduction that I want to get into his community, because I just, you know, I would love to transform myself into beauty. Anyway, I gotta go into Sam's, and so I gotta get ready to go, and man, it would make me feel better to talk.